still me. It's still me. Despite everything, it's still me.
I'm not sure. Should I do? What should I do with my hair? Oops, mountain. That's very distracting. So I'm gonna position myself here so that it will get covered. Yeah, but let's do. I think my asthma together with the. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think when the quiet kid melted, the asthma also has melted with it. Now, just give me a second. I'll just imagine something while I'm away. I'm back. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, as I said earlier, I just had to close the door. As I said earlier, now that the quiet kid has melted from the ice age, I think the asthma will melted with it. Because when I was smaller, I had asthma. And I always had sore throat for some reason. Now I'm experiencing both. Maybe you can hear it on my voice. I've been trying to cure it with ginger, but let's see where that will take us. So I have a question for you, my dear. I'm running out of words. What's the other term for soil sibling? Solar system share mate. We're sharing the same solar system, so that's the truth. I hope I can dress it better with letters, but we share the same solar system, so that's acceptable enough, I think. I have a question for you, my dear solar system share mate. That sounds like a tongue twister. Are you also a quiet kid, or are you the class clown, or what kind of person are you when you were younger? What kind of stereotype did they categorize you under? Because I was the quiet kid, and that began from the moment I entered school until I left. So you could imagine, I first entered school when I was 6. And then I left when I was 20, I think. 20 or 21. No, 20. How old was I? 20. Yeah, 20. When I was 20, I left school. Just give me a second again. My nose My nose is trying to intervene this conversation. So what kind of child were you categorized under? Because I am curious. Are you still, does it still make sense to call you, for example, the class clown? Are you still the class clown? Or have you changed drastically throughout the years? Did life get to you, my dear solar system sharemate? Or did life just force you to know that it has been right all along, the stereotype? Or what? What did life do to you? What did life do to you? And how did you respond when life grabbed you by the throat and punched you by the stomach? How did you respond? I think those are my questions for now, because I'm not sure how open are you in general as a human being, or how much question, how many questions, or what kind of questions can you take before you call it intrusive? Because I pretty much can entertain any kind of question. I guess I have a higher tolerance with questions. I appreciate questions. I like it. I like it in general when people are interested. And speaking of the resurrection of this quiet kid, I don't think the quiet kid ever died. It just so happens that it became less dominant. It started, well, maybe I don't have to give specific dates or specific years. But it wasn't long ago that it became less dominant, and due to recent events, as you may have heard in this particular corner of the realm that's between real and not, which we call by the name of internet. It also, due to recent events, this quiet kid has now become dominant again in the physical realm. Because internet is quite it's a bizarre sort of, because here it is real, but also at the same time you cannot touch it. It affects the physical form, and it is very real for me at least. When I'm doing this video, I'm existing in a way that I wish to exist in the physical realm, but I can't. So, and everything that happens in here affects everything else, and everything else that happens in there affects this. But at the same time, they feel so separate. How do you experience the reality of the internet? Does it feel real to you? Because it certainly feels real to me. It is real, but at the same time, some aspects of it feel so, because it can just begun like this. Everything can just begun like this. Like now that I'm thinking about it, those people, they can just shut off the internet. And all the friends that we made in here will cease to exist, I think. They can just now this took a different turn. But it doesn't matter. Our guts are always turning in ways or do you like asking questions? Or do you just like ending things?